Hey guys, today we're trying something dodgy with the camera and all. I hope it works out. But more importantly, I just wanted to quickly show you a video of how I use the spot healing brush in Photoshop. I think you would have seen something similar with my previous video where I posted a video of like how I edited a picture in Lightroom of the same dish, different color I guess. But you know how I edited it in Lightroom now. Now in this case, my brother wanted like a single shot of the chocolate chia pudding alone, and I did not have a good shot. So this was like the very last shot of the shoot, and this was shot at like 6:30 or something like that. So we were losing light, so I did not like have enough time to like properly clean it up and like properly take the shot. So this is what we ended up with. Normally I would just reject the shot and like not post it anywhere, but he did want like a single shot of this. So we're gonna try our best to like salvage it. So that's what today's video is kind of. So whenever you're doing any sort of spot healing, it's important to like do it on a new layer, because if you do it on the base layer itself, uh, like so, in case you mess up, you can always control Z and go back. But in case you close the app, or in case Photoshop crashes for some reason and you open it back up, the history won't be there, so you won't be able to recover it, or you'll just lose that edit all like fully. So we don't want either of that to happen. So this is like a good backup to have. And even after you finish editing, you'll be able to like see a preview of how it used to look and how it looks now. So it's like it makes it easy that way. Moving on. Now we came back to it. So I press J, or go to the spot healing brush. Uh, and so let's see what we have to clean up first. Now the important bit would be the glass mainly, because that's what looks the messiest. But I also want to clean up the board just a little bit, make it look a little smoother. So that's what we're doing. So let's get started. Okay, so we'll start with the glass first. Whenever you work with glass, it's always tricky because it's very difficult to predict how it looks naturally in terms of how the light falls on it, in terms of the reflection. For example, this glass itself, it is like a clear glass, it's not like a frosted glass. But because we moved the pudding around a lot and we like filled it up back, we took the pudding out of the cup, we filled it back up, and we just didn't clean it because it was supposed to be like more of a background prop in this picture, but it ended up becoming the main subject in this picture. So what we have here is like kind of a frosted glass look that we did not intend, but we are going to maintain that. We are of course not going to be able to show like a very clean looking glass, as in like we won't be able to see a clear glass. We will be seeing a clean glass hopefully, but we won't be able to see a clear glass. Like we can't properly see through it, it'll be like a more of a frosted look. So if it looks like that, I'm completely fine with that. That's what I'm aiming for. Whenever you spot heal, it's good to like zoom in a bit and look at what exactly we're working with, just to make it easier on the eye. But it's also important like not zoom in too much and like working on there, because it won't make a big difference when you like actually see the picture when you zoomed out. So it's important to find that middle ground. Okay, it's a decent zoom to work with. I also like to go for like smaller brush strokes, because it's just much easier to control, and it also loads quicker if you're like working with not a lot of RAM, or if you're recording a video or like this. So all my RAM is like taken up by both the camera as well as the screen recorder thing. So I'm trying not to use too much of the RAM. We don't want to crash over here. Yeah, I think the picture is like kind of already shaping up, at least this part of the picture. Uh, so let me show you what I'm talking about after I zoom out a bit. Yeah, so right now it used to look like that, and now it looks like this, just with a very simple cleanup. Now of course it doesn't look like a very neat looking glass. We'll try to fix that, but just looking at this, it's making a difference. So I'm feeling good about this. I did not do this beforehand, by the way. This is like the first time I'm doing it with this picture, so I don't know how exactly it's gonna look Hopefully we'll find out together. Okay. And whenever another reason to do these smaller brush strokes is that when you do a big brush stroke, not only will it take more time to load, thank you Windows, not only will it take more time to load, but also you'll have a bigger chance of like it messing up. For example, if you do something like this, so the chia boarding has kind of lost its shape here, but if you do a smaller stroke, you'll have like more control over the picture. That was like a bad example, but just a quick one. Hope you got that point across. No, okay. I also like doing like little spots because again, smaller strokes, and it's like easy to just click and see the difference instantly. It always helps when you can see what you're working with, right? So also my mouse is in a weird position because of the mic and the way that I'm recording this, so I'm a little bit slower than usual, but it's very easy to like get used to once you do just a couple of pictures. uh, it's not like that complicated once you like pick it up. uh, Deep stuff. Okay, I'm also like cleaning up some of the floaties on here. I don't think they're dirt, they're more like milk solids that are like coming out of the cream because we put it in the fridge. It's I think it happens whenever you like make any cream based desserts. It's not like splitting, but uh, I think my brother put it in the freezer for some reason, and it kind of got a frosty thing going on, and that frost kind of melted, and it's forming these little dirt like things, but it's not dirt. It's like milk solids and just like water condensing again. So all that is, it's fine to look at when you look at it with your eyes, but in a picture it doesn't look so great. Actually, let's not get distracted. I want I'll focus on the glass first, then I'll get to the dessert part of it. Now this is like a good chance to also fix some of the imperfections in the glass. Like over here, it's not like a super expensive glass. I think I found it for like 200 rupees like a few years ago. So, and it's not being used much, but it's still like just sitting around. It's not like the highest quality glass, and a lot of the time I'm not using the highest quality glass, and it kind of shows in pictures, so that's not like a good thing. You don't want your props to look low quality, so this is like another chance to like fix that up. So in case you don't want to spend on props and a thrifty like me, you can always do this. I should actually get some new glasses, but that's another story. Okay, again doing that whole click thing to just speed it up just a bit. And in case and if you've been like paying close attention, you can see that I'm going over the same spot a couple of times because sometimes when you do that, when you do the spot healing brush, like if you do a brush stroke, sometimes it doesn't get it like perfectly, so there is like a line in between, or like there's a small spot missed, so you can always go over it a couple of times to just maintain the shape of it. Now this is a reflection I don't want to get rid of. Actually, let's see how it looks. So this is like a reflection of the blue cup back there, so it's just giving it like a more natural look. So no, that doesn't look great. If I'm spending a lot of time on it, I can just focus on the blue parts, but I don't want to do that. It looks fine to me, so I'm keeping it as it is. Yeah, again, if I don't like something, I'm just doing Control Z, so undo, or Command Z if you're using a MacBook, that is, or whatever shortcut it is. I think it's Command. uh, okay. Okay, let's look. Let's take like a preview of like what it used to look like and what it looks like now. It's a big difference. Now again, it doesn't look like the cleanest piece of glass ever, but it does look a little bit better. So that's like a good improvement, I should say. Like at least it's noticeable. So that's good. Always nice when it's noticeable. Like when the edit makes a big difference and it's mostly positive. Um, no. I did not want to do that. I don't know why I did that. Okay. Now another thing is that this, so here I shot this in f2.2, I think, if I'm not wrong. What we're working with is both like smudges of the desert as well as the smudges being out of focus. So Photoshop can only like take you so far. Like it's not gonna be like perfect. It's not gonna look like a clean glass, like I said. So I'm gonna do like a bit of a trick thing once I get done with the spot healing business. Nope. Hmm. Now what I'm trying to do is like I'm just extending that white bit, or trying to at least, and sort of failing. Because it'll, I like whenever you show reflections in like desserts or any drinks or anything that involves anything reflective and light is like kind of passing through it a little bit or like forming a highlight on it. It's always nice to show like proper curves, so that's what I'm trying to do here, but it's not working as well. So okay, it's not like a proper curve by any measure, but it's a decent curve. At least it looks natural. Since it's not like a proper liquid, and there are like chia seeds inside this, so it's not like forming like a proper outline here. Just like it is over on this side, I'm gonna leave it just as it is right now. Um, okay. Now I've gotten rid of this, the stain bit where it's like it was brown there in this area, and it's not brown anymore because we cleaned it up. Now I'm gonna do like a thing that I don't usually do, but sometimes in situations like this it works. So I think that's the end of the spot healing bit of it for the most part. I might come back. You never know. It's like a continuous process. So when I notice something new, I come back and do the thing. So when I'm doing something new, I go to a new layer. So Control Shift N or Command Shift N in MacBooks. Yeah, we formed a new layer. What I want to do is I want to I essentially I want to like paint this area without it looking like I'm painting on it. We don't want it to look edited or photoshopped. So I'm gonna try it. I'm not sure if it'll work. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna cut it out of the video. Uh, I think it'll work. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm gonna sample like a bright part of the picture or the bright part of this area because I want that to be how the glass looks. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna paint this all over the place, even in the darker areas, and make it more uniform. I guess that's what I'm trying to do. Now, of course, if you are doing the brush tool, press B or like go into this brush tool and selecting this color, holding Alt to do that eyedropper thing. And if I just paint over it, it's just gonna look like I painted over it. So it's not gonna be like a good look, right? So what I want to do is I want to uh, opacity is 100%. That's perfectly fine. And I also want to make sure the hardness is at 0, which means it's like a soft brush. So instead of it being a hard brush like that, if you notice the corners, it'll be like a soft brush like this. So it'll be like more feathered. It's like more even. Good for effects like these. So let's get rid of that. And before I start painting like that, I'm going to make sure I go into layer. I want to select this layer. I want to go to blending mode and put soft light. Now that's one way to do it. Uh, let's see if it works. If it doesn't work, I'll show you the other way. Otherwise, another video. Yeah, I'm just brightening up this part for the most part. Does it look weird? Let's see. I don't think it's too weird. It's just it's looking a little bit weird because whenever light passes through something, light gets absorbed by what it's passing through just a bit, especially like a thick glass like this. So the glass shouldn't be as bright as it is right now. So I'm gonna get rid of this and try again with like a darker tone. So we already selected the color, and I want to go to the brightness and reduce it just a bit. We want it to be darker, right? So that's what I'm doing. 75. Okay. I'm trying to paint over the darker parts alone. It's okay if I get the lighter parts, it's okay. Like it won't make like a huge difference. But I'm trying to keep it to the dark parts. Just so we're making the change. We're applying the change just where we want it. Right. I'm recording this during the day, if you can't tell. So sunlight is coming in, and which also means vehicles are gonna pass by. So in case if you hear like loud sounds or honking, excuse that. Sorry about that. But in the daytime it happens. But at least the lighting is a little bit better. I think I'm still in the shadow on one area, but it's better than tube light for sure. Okay, so like I said, I'm just painting over the dark parts and making them a little bit brighter. Sometimes when you look at like smudges or dirty areas in pictures, just by like adding just a little bit of brightness on those areas, they tend to look a lot cleaner. It's not actually clean, but it just, when you're taking a quick peek at it, it looks cleaner, it feels cleaner just because it is brighter. It looks like it's something that you want people to see. Okay, it's a bit better. There are still a lot of smudges that I'm working with over here, so that's not ideal. So I'm gonna go back to spot healing and see what I have to do. So we are back to the spot healing layer. I hid this layer, uh, and I wanna go over the dark parts just for a second. Cool. Okay, that's a bit better. I feel like I'm repeating this, but I think I have to say it again. It's because, like, I'm not trying to get it perfect. Like, it's almost impossible to get this looking perfect because it's so messed up. But we're just trying to salvage it as much as possible. That's the aim here. It's not to get it to look perfect. Of course, if you're working with better glass and you took the time to like clean it up and there are just little small smudges, then it's much easier to like work with it. But here it was like, it was set up to not look great, so we're just doing our best to make it look okay, presentable. Okay, I actually want to make this like completely even, so I'm going back to the brush layer and pressing B and painting over all of it. We're going back here, going to brush tool. The color is already selected, that's the foreground color. I did not change that, so I'm just working with exactly how we were, and painting over the dark parts also. I'm using an external mouse, but also the trackpad is huge. So when I'm like trying to hold space but like move around, I'm also like touching the touch bar. I mean the touchpad. So it's kind of going in the opposite direction. Okay. Okay. Right. So it does look quite a bit better. Like you can see how the brightness makes a difference. It's not just the brightness, we're also like painting over the dirt, so we are making it look like it's clean. So that's also like contributing to it looking cleaner, but also it's brightening up the whole thing just by a bit, but not enough to like make it look unnatural. uh, yeah, so it looks like the light is still like passing through it, like it's hitting on the background and passing through it. So that's, yeah, we've maintained that natural look. And yeah, it would be a stretch to say I'm like happy with it, but considering the point, what the point of this exercise was, it's definitely looking a lot better. And here is where we started, and here's where we are. So I'd say that's a pretty big difference, and it's definitely better, at least in my opinion. So let me know what you think. Does it still look like crap, or does it look okay? So let me know. Oh, before we close, just one more thing. I want to like get rid of these holes. Generally, I don't mind them when it's like a wider picture, but in close-ups like this, the holes they kind of are distracting. Kind of like they're kind of the darkest part of the picture and a otherwise bright picture, so they attract a lot of attention. If it was a darker picture, oops, wrong tool. If it was a darker picture, it wouldn't be as distracting. And if it was like a more zoomed out picture, it wouldn't be as distracting. But right now, it does look distracting. The spot healing brush, man, it's it's like a gift from God for photographers. It's so easy to like get rid of it. I know it's like a pretty old tool. We've had it for so many years. I've been using it since I started photography, but it never ceases to surprise me. And Adobe continue to like make it better and better. So that's one area that they are really really good at, like making like the content aware technology, I guess. I don't know what exactly it's called, but it's called content aware in this. So that's what I'm calling it. It's pretty great. Okay, so I think okay. No, one more area. Something caught my eye. So in this area, so this is not like a stain or anything. It is actually an imperfection in the glass. So if you buy cheap glass like this, these things tend to happen. Like in an otherwise higher quality glass, if you're shooting with that, the curves that you see here, I'm not sure what exactly I should call them, but I'm calling them curves because it's like forming like a curve, like right here, right? And you can see these imperfections, like it's not like a proper curve. It's like there are some stuff in the middle. It's like imperfect. It's not exactly properly made. So I'm just getting like making it smoother to look at, like making it seem higher quality. Nah, that's not working. Whenever you work with straight lines like this, uh, a spot healing brush can mess it up just a bit. Like sometimes these lines won't be like perfectly curved. It won't be perfectly smooth. That'll be like so the line is traveling like this way, right? It can also like face this way by by accident if you are not paying attention when doing like spot healing brush. So I'm just trying to pay attention to that. I know that no one is going to be zooming in this much. Even if they zoom, Instagram is not going to let them see it. But since we are doing it, I thought why not? You don't have to take it this far when you like just uh, are like editing pictures for Instagram. But I think it's cool to do it. I think it's fun. It's kind of like calming to do the spot healing to in these situations. It's a little bit pointless, but hey, it's fun. Okay, now I'll show you what it looked like also. So just pay attention to this area. Uh, this is what it looked like. This is what it looks like now. I'd say that part alone is like a tons better. It's looking pretty good. Also want to clean up. So here it's looking pretty reflective and smooth, right? And here it's suddenly like all scratched up. That might not be the glass's fault. That might be me not maintaining it properly or storing it properly, or like dropping it. Most likely I dropped it. No, I think I bought this glass for actually some action photography, some splash and stuff. So we did throw it around a lot. So it did get dinged up a bit, and it did not like break when we did it, but it has been thrown around. It has been through a lot. So it needs some therapy. Okay. Okay, I could do this all day. So I'm stopping myself now. Think so. One more look at the how it was. I'll zoom in it just a bit. So this is how it was. So we applied spot healing and it looked a lot better. And we applied some brightening and did some like brushing, like put some makeup on it, and that's what it looks like. Yeah, I think it's at least presentable. Like it's not like horrible like it was. But let me know what you think. So we're gonna close it here. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope the camera is recording because I've been trying to face the camera and stuff. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. See you later.